remember the excitement like it was yesterday. Pastoring my first church. I had finished seminary, had accepted a call to a small church in the Atlanta area, and I was more excited than I'd ever been about anything. I remember walking into the church office that Monday morning, my first day, and my office. That had a good ring to it. I liked the way that sounded. So here I was, all dressed up and nowhere to go, at least not in any practical way. Because what I had heard someone introduce me as was not only their pastor, but their leader. I knew how to pastor a church. I had trained for that. That was in my blood at that particular period of time. I knew what to do and how to do it, or at least I thought I did. But leadership, that was another issue. Because remember, we're talking about the 1970s now. And the 70s had a focus not on leadership, but had a focus on management. Leadership was kind of a new phenomenon that was beginning to take place. So when they introduced me as their leader, my mind was hearing as their manager. I'm not sure what that meant, but I was about to find out. I remember sitting there in my office that Monday morning and wondering, what do I do? How do I do this? What do I do? And I asked that question numerous times. And then I came up with the answer. As a leader, what do? I lead. And that was the beginning of an end result that was nothing like I would imagine it to be. Now that I'm older, and hopefully more mature, although there is some question about that, I realized that I got the answer to the question that I was asking. What do? I also discovered how to get the wrong answer to the question every time, and that is to ask the wrong question. The question was not, what do I do? The question should have been, who am I becoming? You see, we tend to view leadership as an external event. We see it as something people do, but leadership is not just something that we do. It comes from a deeper reality within us. It comes from our values, our principles, our life experiences, our very essence. Leadership is a process, an intimate expression of who we are. It's our whole person, mind, body, soul, and spirit in action. You see, we lead by virtue of who we are. Now, please understand, we're all CEOs of our life. But through our years of training and through our years of development and through our years of being in an educational system that focuses on learning about things and teaching us what to do, we've missed some very important principles about who we are. And so we learn what to think, not how to think. We learn what to do, not how to be. We learn what to achieve, not how to achieve. And we learn about things, but not the nature of things. Now, when you and I combine who we are with a higher level of social intelligence, our influence will be astounding. Intelligence, or IQ, is something that we're born with. Unfortunately, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, that person looking back is about as smart as he's ever going to be. He may raise it a point or two. It may drop several points, but it's going to stay within a framework of very small change. Social intelligence, on the other hand, is learned. It's not something that we're born with. It's not something that we automatically catch on to as we grow older. It's something that we deliberately learn. We learn it from our experiences with people, our interaction with other people. We learn it from our successes and our failures in social settings. It's commonly referred to as tact or common sense or street smarts. There are 6 key elements of social intelligence that when you and I begin to incorporate those 6 elements into our life, it becomes the essence of who we are. There's the key element of verbal fluency and conversational skills. You can spot someone at a party or a get-together And you know immediately they have a high level of social intelligence because they know how to work the room. They're talking to everyone. They're carrying on a conversation with everyone in the room at different periods of time. They talk to a wide variety of people, and they're very tactful and appropriate in what they say and how they say it. Social intelligence also has a knowledge of social roles and rules and scripts. A person with a high level of social intelligence knows what the rules are. They know how to use those roles to develop from that first key element of working the room to where they can carry on conversations with most anybody and everybody. They know how to play various roles. They're not fake. They're not phony. They know what the norms are. They know what social interactions consist of. And they play that game of social interaction to the nth degree. They come off as socially sophisticated and wise. And those two things carry a great deal of weight and value in their relationship building with other people. Another key element of social intelligence is effective listening skills. People with social intelligence are great listeners. My grandmother told me one time, there's a good reason that God gave you one mouth and two ears. I didn't know exactly what she was talking about at the time, but I do now. I tend to try to listen more than I talk. Well, that's not exactly true. Sometimes I just talk to talk. But I find my most productive times are those times that I open my ears and close my mouth and just listen. When you effectively listen to someone else, they walk away from that interaction feeling valued. They feel that they're important. They feel that you've actually heard and listened to what they had to say. The fourth element of social intelligence is understanding what makes other people tick. What makes them act the way they do? What makes them say the things they say? A person with social intelligence can tell what other people are thinking. They can tell why a person is behaving the way he or she is. They understand the emotions that are involved in the conversation and in the relationship. The fifth element is role-playing and social self-efficacy. A person with social intelligence knows how to play social roles, and they feel extremely comfortable with all types of people. They're socially self-confident, and they're effective. This is what psychologists call self-efficacy. They're confident in what they do. But that sixth element of social intelligence is impression management skills. A person with social intelligence actually cares about what other people think about them. Now, not to the highest degree, but they want to know how they come off in a crowd, how people perceive them, how people look at them. They engage in what I call the dangerous art of impression management, which is a delicate balance between managing and controlling the image that you portray to other people, and yet at the same time being reasonably authentic to yourself. You see, leadership is not what we do. It's who we are. And when you combine who you are with a high level of social intelligence, that is learned social intelligence, you will be amazed at the influence that you have in the lives of other people. As Socrates said, "Give me the beauty in the inward soul. May the outward and inward man be as one."